Greetings, ladies, gentlemen, and others. Today, you find us three weary travelers on a never-ending dirt road that lines the border between greatness and absolute garbage, a pilgrimage that all great fans of anime should one day travel down. But today, it is our turn. We will ask many questions and receive many answers. Today's answer is 4, I think. I'm Tristan.
I'm Miles.
I'm Geoff.
And welcome to Quest for the Best, where we actually do that intro properly for the first time in several back-to-back recordings that may or may not be in proper order. Hi, everyone.
So now, even though we just had this conversation about we don't want people like worrying about what order we recorded stuff in, you have immediately laid this clue where people are going to be like looking at which sequence we screw up the intro multiple times in a row.
They're going to be looking at like, where in California is it this time of day? Where,
I mean,
compared to...
based on when we're planning on putting this specific episode out, Cleopatra just went up and we're all wearing the same outfits as in our Crunchyroll Award bullcrap video from several months prior. Oh, I wonder if it was recorded at the same time.
Well, no, people will figure that out.
I think that's completely coincidental. I only have so many outfits, Tristan.
Yeah.
And we all just happen to pick the same outfit.
And you only bring those outfits when you're going to Toronto. So it completely makes sense.
Perfectly makes sense. Welcome
and
to the pod.
And you just happen to rent the same hotel room.
It's my hotel room. Yeah.
It's what you do.
They know me in Toronto. Anyway, so we're an anime podcast. We talk about the best anime of all time. And today we're talking about an anime that I really wanted to talk about. It's called Takopi's Original Sin. And Geoff also really wanted to talk about it. And I'm pretty sure now that he's been forced to watch it, Tristan is jazzed, but he refuses to tell us, even if he's jazzed or not, to not spoil things for the pod.
So that the discussion will be interesting.
Because okay, guys, seriously, you know how this goes. In any other discussion we've ever had, if it gets brought up, then we get into it, and then eventually one of us says, why aren't we recording this? We should have saved this for the pod. So I was preempting all of that.
Yep.
But we did 5 years of that before we started recording the podcast. Like,
I know, prior it was just, why aren't we doing this as a podcast?
So that's how much, dear listeners and or viewers, Tristan loves you.
Yes. I love you very, very much. Love you so much that we're immediately going to dive into the question of the week. Today is a sequel question. This is from Tony from Prague over via the Quest for the Best email. You guys had favorite cats in anime, but what about your favorite dogs? And I mean, that's kind of fair because even though I am, generally speaking, a cat person, it is fair of us to also talk about the good doggos. Are like 11 out of 10 good puppers.
Okay. So like right I want an arms deal. Or not an arms deal. I want an armistice. I want a peace treaty. I want to make sure we're all on the same page on this.
Okay.
None of us are going to make the joke.
Nope.
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
Nope.
All right. Good.
We already did one really cringe millennial thing in this conversation so far. We have to stop it there.
Yeah.
Or else we're too chuggy. Oh my God, I did it again.
I know. We can make related jokes. For example, I could just say, Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Completely
unrelated to the joke.
To the armistice that we have just assigned and agreed to.
Okay, so the only trouble with that is it does make the question harder to answer because, like, how many dogs are there
dogs
in
can
anime?
you think of?
My first response was actually just the dog in Howl's Moving Castle that Sophie thinks is the Wicked Witch.
It's not a real dog, though.
No, I know it's not a real dog, but I just like when I think of dogs, I think of that like dog just like panting. It's great. That sound effect. I can't do it. Obviously.
I mean, the thing that first popped into my head is that I mentioned this very briefly to Miles. Is there's a bit in AMV Hell 3 that's just like, where are all my dogs at? Bark with me if you're my dog. It's a really stupid joke, but for whatever reason, little stupid things like that are the first things that pop into my head at random times. Oh, this funny little AMV thing that I watched 2 decades ago. Yep, first thing. Not of the fact that there's an actual anime that has stray dogs in the title. Didn't think of that at all.
I mean, but those aren't
actual dogs.
Those aren't actual dogs.
I mean, Mark Twain's kind of a dog if you think about it.
I know. And I mean, I usually forget about Ein, despite the fact that I did this whole, like, feature-length video on Bebop. But I mean, Ein is Ein. He's cool.
He's kind of a mascot. It's, I mean,
Yeah.
he's a very good boy, and he is integral to some of the best episodes of Bebop. Oh, speaking of Full Metal Alchemist, Black Hayate, great dog.
Very good dog.
Very good dog. I have to say Iggy for me. I think the best dog is Iggy.
Really? From JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
From JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Iggy, yeah.
I mean, I kind of go back and forth on Iggy because there was like at least a decent chunk of time while watching Stardust that I absolutely hated anytime he was on screen. He grew on me, though.
No. You do end up loving Iggy, but he is extremely unpleasant for about half the time he's on screen.
Yeah, it turns around with the pet shop fight, and then by the time we get to Ice and Cream, it's like absolute peak. I love that little boy so much.
Why not a dog that is always good, like Makachin from Yuri on Ice?
That's a good option.
That's a good dog.
Just a great dog, a great partner in life. Lots of great life partners in that show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Generally, he is a good dog. He's very fluffy. I would love to cuddle him.
I feel like though, and maybe I'm wrong. Like, correct me if this doesn't sound right, but I feel like a lot of anime are more biased towards having cats than dogs.
Yeah,
I feel like there are a lot more cats that you can think of in an anime than dogs.
There are cats who have distinct names and personalities, but there are a lot of dogs in
just
anime.
Like in the background.
And like I was looking at Anime Planet before this, like looking at all the dogs, and there are so many characters that are dog where their name is dog. Right? And that just doesn't happen with cats, right? There's just a dog that's incidentally in a scene. So I don't think that dogs are not getting their due representation in anime. I just think that they're incredibly irrelevant as characters. They're just kind of pets. Whereas a cat can have a personality. And it's just like in real life. Dogs are just kind of like more complicated than having a child for some reason. And yet people like are willing to have an animal that you have to clean up their poop after. I mean, that doesn't provide you like... Dogs are great. I like dogs.
Dogs are great.
In Japanese folklore, is there like a Nekomata equivalent for dogs? Because I remember when we did have the cat discussion, we kept on coming back to like cats that were like corrupted by spirits as like some of our favorite cats.
Inukami. They're nowhere near as prevalent as Nekomata.
Okay.
But like there are various dog spirits. There's just nothing as like...
Aren't they mostly wolf spirits though?
No, Inukami are dogs specifically. Yeah. If I think about dogs, like Pochita's a really good boy, but Pochita's only in like 15 minutes of Chainsaw Man total.
Yeah.
He is a really good boy.
He dies.
Spoilers. In prep for other things that we may or may not do in the future podcast, Bond from Spy Family.
Yeah, Bond is a very good boy.
He's a very good boy.
Bond might actually be the best boy.
Actually, I think I could be convinced of that because I was like going to go like with Missile from Ace Attorney, but like
I forgot about Missile.
That's a good
oh my
dog.
God.
I think of that as a video game dog, but Missile is.
Isn't Missile just a Ghost Trick reference?
No,
correct me if I'm wrong.
Ghost Trick is an Ace Attorney reference. Missile and Ghost Trick is an Ace Attorney reference.
It's reverse.
Missile originally shows up in Ace Attorney 1 as an optional like clue sniffing dog that you get from Detective Gumshoe to help you.
Right.
But really his only purpose is to bark when you pass that one camera so it sets off the noise sensor. And it's just kind of a red herring.
It just it was confusing for me because I did play Ghost Trick before I played Ace Attorney 1 way back in the day. Yeah. So got mixed up in my brain.
That's fair. Missile is a very good dog.
Missile's a very good dog.
Guts from Kill la Kill.
Oh, that's a good dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a peak dog.
I've got it. Chappie from today's show.
Chappie is a very good dog.
Tristan's not even going to respond to that? Leaving us in suspense? I am awaiting your monologue, my friend.
We'll get there.
I think I'm going to...
So that's our question of the week.
Oh, no.
What?
I'm going to stop Growlithe.
Growlithe is good. You know what? I just want to point out, since there
has to be a better dog. Like, I love Growlithe, but I feel like there's a better dog.
Brock's Growlithe?
Specifically Brock's Growlithe? Okay, no, that's peak.
Yeah, I mean, Brock's Growlithe, yeah. Good dog. I'm just gonna point something out here, though, because we've been talking about this. I'm sure we're all looking at similar lists of dogs to give ourselves ideas
to try and remember what all the
dogs in anime. And I would just like to point out that all of us have very, I think, consciously glazed over both of the dogs from Naruto.
No, that was not on purpose.
That wasn't
totally on purpose. It's totally on purpose for me because I, again, as I've stated on the podcast before, I don't care about Naruto.
Okay,
so.
Paku,
I don't like the dogs from Naruto.
The Kakashi's dog from Naruto, the talking one, is like okay, but man, Kiba is like one of the most nothing characters in that entire series.
Yeah, which is too bad.
And the dog's really cute too. It just like, man, it really sucks they don't do nothing with it.
Well, there's that one anime where Nobunaga's a dog. Oda Cinnamon Nobunaga.
Oh, that sounds actually kind of peak.
Yeah, it was okay.
There's also that one anime where that guy becomes a dog, which we're not going to talk about.
Eddie McDowd, yeah.
Yeah. I think we've kind of tapped this question out already.
Absolutely.
Just a bit.
That's fine, because we have a very involved side quest this week.
We sure do.
A very involved side quest.
We have, it's kind of another question, which is just,
sort of.
What anime do you remember most and want to talk about most from spring 2025?
So I want to give a quick preface to this because it is literally the thing you guys do for a living.
Yes.
Yeah.
To watch anime
of
the new seasons and talk about them.
So for Miles, the question is, what did you actually finish?
Well, what did I actually finish is a very different question than what I liked, and which is a very different question than like what is going through my brain. So, for example, I really liked The Country Bumpkin and Master Swordsman. But
I love that one too.
4 whole episodes of it, maybe 3, because it was on Amazon Prime and there were ads, and I'm like,
Anything being on Amazon just kills my interest in watching it. But I actually got like, I think 8 or 9 episodes into that one.
About
just
the same, actually, yeah.
I really like the world and the characters, and like the sword fighting's really solid too. It's just like, just a good show generally.
Bonus points for not being kicked out of the heroes party.
But huge bonus points for that.
It's one that I want to get on like Blu-ray and watch properly in like 8 years.
Yeah.
Great characters. It's like not, I don't think exceptional as fantasy anime go, but it's like solid. It's
solid. It's solid. It's solid.
It does its job very well.
Which is not something you can say for most fantasy anime.
No. Not at all.
Although weirdly, right now we're going through like a golden age. When we talk about summer anime, we're gonna have a lot.
We're gonna need like a whole video for that.
But
not just a side quest.
There were 3 or 4 list contenders last season.
A couple, depending on who you talk to. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think the biggest list contender, like far and away, was Apocalypse Hotel.
For you, not for me.
Wait, really?
For him, it's
for me. It's Cinderella Grey.
Yeah. Which is also, I need to finish that.
I mean,
one.
it's either that or it's Anne Shirley.
Also very good.
Good.
Well, I haven't watched. It looks really lovely. I've watched one episode and it was great. And I should watch this.
Yeah, I really enjoy it too. Although fundamentally, I feel like no matter how much we want to be like our list is based on like what we like and stuff, we're only going to be able to put in a maximum of one Anne of Green Gables anime.
And it's probably going to be the Takahata version. I get it.
Probably going to be. Even though Anne Shirley's really good.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens when it finishes, though. Like when it's done, when it ends, then we'll see.
So
then we'll see.
I'm guessing the other list contender you were talking about is Mono? Miles?
So Mono is my second favorite anime of the season, but it is not one of the list contenders.
Okay, interesting.
I just like Mono. It just makes me happy.
I mean, that's fair.
The thing, like, it's got, I think, a lot of the appeal of Yudu Camp.
It does.
I wonder why.
Surprise.
So why would Mono have a lot of the same appeal as Late Night Camp?
The episode where they go to all of the Yuru Camp locations and the characters are just like hanging out in the background is so good.
Dude, I literally could not get through an episode of Mono without me going to my wife, "Hey, look, I've been there. Hey, look, I've been there."
Isn't that great?
It's great for that, and also like legitimately very impressive with how they like emulate different camera lenses and how they draw stuff, and it's a really impressive production. I can kind of see what you mean about it not being like list material though, because it's like
the other one that I thought last season was like that was Zatutabi, the girl who like makes a Twitter poll to decide where to go and goes on this adventure wherever it happens to go. I thought that was very nice. I liked that a lot. I didn't finish it, but I liked what I was watching.
Mono's probably going to make it onto my 100 anime list, my personal, but it'll be at like 100.
Yeah,
so pretty far down there.
I want to be clear, like me enjoying it a lot. It's also hard the moment you compare it to Laid Back Camp. Yes, it actually has much better production values than Laid Back Camp and is like a tighter quote-unquote anime.
Well, I mean, Laid Back Camp is 8 years old at this point. I would hope it has at least some semblance of a production increase.
But the characters are not even a quarter as appealing to me.
No.
Like, it's just good vibes. And like, I'm like, hey, I almost died on a bike on that corner, right? Like, there's a lot of like specific appeal of just like messing around in Kofu or messing around in Yamanashi for me. So it's a little different.
Fair enough.
Wait, I want to ask Tristan about Uma Musume.
What about Uma Musume?
You're saying that's a list contender for you.
For me,
it's extremely good. I love it. I was locked in the whole time.
Good. Locked in like Oguri Kapu on the end of the finish line.
I have not finished Cinderella Grey yet, just to be clear.
We will not spoil.
What I've seen of it does seem like absolutely peak shonen sports drama.
It absolutely is. It is probably the best shonen sports drama I have seen, probably, period. But, I really want to dig into that before I, say that. I mean, absolutely contender for me.
Like, we did just watch Slam Dunk.
If Slam Dunk was a full 12-episode series, it would top this. But for me, I think Cinderella Grey top Slam Dunk.
Okay. I mean, there's still there is stiff competition there. Shonen sports drama is like one of the most consistently like the best hit rate genres in all of anime. I would say, like Haikyuu,
especially if it's boxing.
Literally every boxing anime.
Yeah.
There is, I cannot think of a bad boxing
did it
anime.
Once, and then everyone just copied that.
No.
And when you're already copying perfection, it's always great.
Tristan.
It's always great.
Tristan, don't
Tomorrow's
say Ippo. Ippo did it once. Ashita no Joe did it.
Right.
Ashita
no Joe came first.
And even
Megalobox was literally just a Joe remake.
And even I forget if it was before or after Joe, but there was also
didn't Ippo hit higher highs though, as far as shonen jump popularity?
Oh,
yeah. Okay.
No, but
I think it hits higher highs in general.
There's also that boxing manga from it was after Ippo, but there's also that really important boxing manga that's never been localized from the creator of Saint Seiya that was the foundation of all shonen battle stuff. But
But Racing Uma Musume's is pretty good too.
Yeah, Racing Uma Musume's is up there with Haikyuu for sports dramas that have instantly grabbed me. And I do really want to watch more. I really want to dive down the Uma Musume horse hole. I was going to say rabbit hole, but it's a horse hole.
It's a horse hole.
No, they're Uma Musume hole.
The Uma hole.
The Uma hole.
Don't say that.
I mean...
There's this episode titled Uma Holes.
The Uma Holes.
Rock is a Lady's Modesty. I don't know if it's a list contender, but it was really good.
So loved it up until a point. I think Rock is a Lady's Modesty for me, because I did complete it. I feel like that is one that I had certain expectations for where it was going, and not only did it not meet those expectations, but then it went in a direction that was just completely uninteresting for me. So I really loved the whole start of it, where she's just like, hey, I'm from a Pavo background. My dad was a rocker. He died, and now my mom remarried this rich family, and I have to act like a prim and proper lady. I liked that. I liked that duality of her trying to fit in a world that she doesn't totally fit with, while totally just wanting to rock out Agretzko style on her guitar. I loved that. once we get to the point of where band members 3 and 4 get added in, that's where I feel like it's sort of lost the vibe for me. Because it's around there that they stopped really caring about the fact that this is a double life for her. And it was just more of a, well, this is just your life now. It wasn't really, there was no like big worry that anyone was going to find out. And if anyone did find out, it's like they wouldn't have cared or it would have been brushed away or something.
And
so in fact, being punk rock.
Yeah.
But I mean, I kind of see that. I do like really enjoy the story and characters, and I like what the 2 other bandmates add to the ensemble.
I still like it, but as far as like talking about it as a list contender, that's probably about where I would.
That's where it's held back for you. That's fair.
I still enjoyed it. As I said, I finished it, which I only finished a handful of shows, so I didn't finish Mono.
Yeah, I actually still gotta finish Mono, but. That's also like, it's not the kind of anime that demands you finish it. It's kind of like, I need Mono tonight. You know, and not like from just making out with like some dude in the alleyway.
No, you need, it's good for like giving you a hit of that very rarefied Yuru camp drug that you're so addicted to, right?
Which is odd,
and
because
that's why you need to savor it.
Honestly, that hit is what I got from Catch Me at the Ballpark, which I also fully completed my God Season 2 when. So,
and I will not contender for you, right?
I can't say that because there's no way in hell I'll be able to convince either of you to put it there.
I already made the decision, like made a conscious decision to not even bargain bin it. I kind of regret that. I kind of feel like I would put it in the bargain bin, but like the first episode was.
If it came out on like a different year, if it came out on a different year with like less things that it was competing against, even for Anime of the Year, I feel like it would be a little bit more noteworthy. The other problem is that it is very much this is a slice of life. This is like definition slice of life, not just cool girls doing cute things. This is like, no, this is literally, hey, we're at a ballpark. This isn't about like a main character specifically, though there are main characters. This is like a whole cast of people that live and work at this ballpark. What do they do for a living? How does that work? It's very like in the same way that Shirobako looks at the workings in an anime production studio and it like shows you the highlights, but not really any of the nitty gritty stuff in the back end. That's kind of what Catch Me at the Ballpark, I assume, does. It feels very much like it's written by a person that only wants to show you all of the good possible things that could happen if you just went to your local ballpark. Please, my God, go to your local ballpark. That is what this feels like. It is screaming.
The sport is dying.
The sport is dying. I mean, come on. But it is so great.
It does make me, just want to go to the Yomiuri Giants Stadium, which I can do because I live in Japan.
You
can actually go to this stadium. This one. You can do it. You can do it, Geoff.
There.
Take photos.
Wait, they don't have beer no, they do have beer, but they don't have as much of beer.
Get a beer.
No,
find a cute
beers,
girl.
9 hot dogs, 9 innings. Do it, Geoff.
Do it, Geoff.
For us. Let us live vicariously through you.
Is that a baseball thing, the 999 thing?
It's 9 innings. Get a dog and a beer per inning.
I'm like semi-convinced.
They'll last long enough.
I'm semi-convinced, actually, that Kotaro Uchikoshi heard that phrase at one point from some baseball fan,
and then just
got stuck in his head, and he was like, 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. Let's do it.
If there was more baseball references in that game series, I'd agree with you. But also at the same time, even though there isn't, I feel like that might have happened. Yeah.
Or he was 9 beers into a 999, and he thought, you know what's a great game idea for a game?
This.
A shitload of doors.
Look at all these doors. Where do they lead? Who knows? Maybe someone's dead behind them. Maybe I'll kill you.
For anime I didn't finish and like that I want to watch more of, that I feel like have like maybe not list potential, but close.
Yeah.
Yaiba.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah. I didn't really feel compelled to watch more episodes of it because I felt like I knew exactly where the story was going from.
You did, though. That's kind of the thing.
Cares?
It's based off of, I know,
but
who cares?
But the fights rip so much and the comedy's so good. I really want to watch more of it. It's just like, you know how it is. It's a low priority.
I have been told that the sexual harassment humor really cools down after the first few episodes, which was one of the reasons why I didn't keep watching it. Not because it like wasn't a deal breaker for me. It was just kind of like a contrivance and annoyance. But apparently it does cool down significantly and is much less focused on that than manga. But like, it's so frustrating to me because other than that, it would be the kind of thing I would want to watch with my kids, right? Like, because I'm like, check this out, guys. Like, this is such the animation that is so fun to watch. Like City this season, it's got that same like, oh,
vibe.
I just like watching this.
Is this why you haven't watched OG Dragon Ball with your kids? Because you don't want to have to explain why Bulma's pissing herself off a cliff in the first episode?
I mean, I literally just haven't thought to do that yet.
Okay, let me know how it goes.
I turned out okay, didn't I?
You did. You did.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Other things that I didn't finish. Oh, you remember when we first started? This wasn't on the podcast, I don't think. When we first started talking about this season, and I was like desperately trying to sell Miles on Food for the Soul. I regret everything.
I regret
everything. Sucked from the beginning. I was so sad.
I don't think it sucked from the beginning. I think the first episode was good.
The first episode was good, but every episode after that was nothing like the first episode. It was it felt like a completely different show.
If you tell me PA works anime about college girls eating food for their club activity, like how could I not be in? And then it was just so... It didn't even live up to a quarter of that promise, and it didn't keep up with that, I know,
because after episode 1, I think I got to episode 3 or 4, and I was like, they're not going out and eating food. They're spending all of this time either lazing about or getting a club room ready or something. All of these plot lines that I have seen a billion times before in better shows.
And this is just a going home club for us, but we're trying to decide how serious we're going to be about this club. You know, one of the
and then they tried to fake the seriousness because they had a staff advisor coming to check to make sure that they fit the club requirements and can actually remain as a club, and they just kind of bullshitted the whole way through. Yeah, no, we did that.
Honestly, one of the things from this season, I don't want to get too into it, but one of the things I really appreciate about Turkey is how it manages to condense literally all of that club anime bullshit into one 20-minute episode where you're like, I understand the entire seasonal narrative arc that brought these characters to this point in their bowling journey.
Time travel.
Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it.
I've already said it in my seasonal video. It's fine.
I know, but
that's the reason why you want to continue with Turkey. Why bowling plus time travel? I have to know.
Some people might be watching this and not know about the twist. But yeah, probably it's fine.
An episode 1 twist. That's fine. It's not like it's an episode 3 twist.
No.
I could mention one, but I'm not going to be mean.
But I mean, I don't know. I was legit kind of upset about that one. How like news about what it was really about immediately got out like within 20 minutes of the episode airing, and
so I knew it wasn't going to be about bowling because I've read 2 different bowling manga, and they both were fine. I'm like, no one will ever make this into a commercial product because the average bowler, even in Japan, is like 70. They're not even able to bowl anymore or go to pachinko parlors. Like, come on, let's be serious here.
We are more likely to get a curling anime. And by the way, that is right under an adaptation of...
Dogs Red?
Yes, Dogs Red. Right under that. I want a curling... I want friggin' Men with Brooms, but anime. Do it.
Dogs Red is the anime...
Have you ever watched Men with Brooms? Men with Brooms is an actual film that you can go watch, and I kind of want that, but anime.
I just want, a Dogs Red anime. If Dogs Red becomes an anime, that will be the greatest sports anime of all time.
Yeah, I have a plea to all of our listeners / viewers right now. Please go to your local bookstore and wherever you get books and go get the first 2 or 3 volumes, depending on when you're listening to this, of Dogs Red from Viz, and show publishers that this is like an important manga you need to own.
Please tell them. Tell them that Dogs Red is great. You want to buy it.
So
you want to buy more of it.
2-sentence
what
elevator
Golden
pitch.
Kamui?
Yeah, it's the writer of Golden Kamui doing his passion project that he got to do, that he got free license to make whatever he wanted to make after Golden Kamui was a hit. And it was like, hockey manga. I'm making a hockey manga. And not just any hockey manga. It's a hockey manga about a disgraced former figure skater becoming the world's greatest hockey forward.
Peak cinema. Like it's so good. It's
the
so
greatest
good.
hockey manga that's ever existed.
There's that like one moment where the guy like swipes at him with the stick and he pirouettes over it. I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever read in my life.
God, I want this animated like decently well so bad.
That's up there with decanting from such a height from the Drops of God manga. Can I tell you something I'm a little ashamed of?
What?
Sure.
One of the anime I watched the most of last season is the beginning after the end.
That
makes sense.
No, the thing is, there's no
like
shame
it's bad,
in that
but
because it's potato chips. It's a potato chips anime.
Yeah,
it was so watchable, and all these people who were hating on it, I'm like,
here's the thing, though.
I get it. The thing is,
people were hating on it.
No,
they kept hating on it. They would continually hate on it, and I'm like, why are you still watching this?
The reason. So the whole drama there is the beginning after the end is or like an English web novel. I believe it's like Webtoons. I don't know the Turtle Me's exact background, but it is one of the first big English language web novels to really take off. It had also very successful webtoon. Many people have hyped it up as peak for many years because of that success, and because like after it stops being a 2-bit Mushoku Tensei knockoff, it actually apparently does get really interesting. Although to be clear, first season 2-bit Mushoku Tensei knockoff.
Well, it's just another Mushoku Tensei.
We have Mushoku Tensei at home.
Practically speaking.
Yeah,
I mean, story-wise, it's not meaningfully different. It's just kind of more presentation-wise where you would draw that distinction. Like I really like. I'm a Mushoku Tensei defender, and I still don't really see a meaningful difference in story writing quality between the two from the first season.
No, substantial. The character
story writing,
character
like just writing
day,
not like production.
From the first season
of Mushoku Tensei versus the beginning after the end.
Yeah,
night and day difference in terms of the character arcs. The like.
Are you thinking of like all of Mushoku Tensei? Because it's only up until about the blip.
I'm talking like the first 10 episodes of Mushoku Tensei.
Yeah.
Up to the blip?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's like a ton of really interesting world building happening there.
Because honestly, I didn't think Mushoku Tensei was really all that good until after the blip, because that's when shit got real.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I was on board from episode 1 because like...
I mean, from an animation perspective,
not just an animation perspective. I think the way it's framed, like the way it like goes through his birth and like his experimentation with magic and stuff is like it's
beginning after the end did that pretty interestingly too. I thought I'm not saying I think Mushoku Tensei is probably better at that part, and I've seen more Mushoku Tensei, and so I like it a lot. But like again, I didn't actually think the beginning after that everyone was acting like it was the worst thing in the world. No, and there's two things here. Go ahead, actually, Geoff.
So like
you held up 3 fingers.
Writing wise, I agree. It's fine. And the big problem people had with it was that the animation is just
dog.
It's dog water.
No,
it's not that bad.
It's not dog water. It's not that bad.
No, it's I would say dog water. It's not dog poop, but it is dog water. It's like very mediocre.
Why?
Here's the median anime of 10 years ago.
Why does this anime with this much hype and an already established fan base have that animation when Old Country Bumpkin has its animation?
Because animation quality is not really related to anything practical for 99% of anime.
Yeah.
But it feels like it should be.
Yeah, like, I mean,
it's the
Sakamoto Days issue. Again,
yeah,
right? Where it's like, and Sakamoto Days is a much better produced anime than the beginning after the end. But there is a similar, like, expectation for it to be at least this good versus how it ended up, which is still not bad, but...
So the reason I watched the beginning after the end is because it kept showing up. My company does a lot of analysis for publishers. By the way, just as a quick disclaimer, I did work on promotion for Uma Musume Cinderella Grey, so like I am biased because I would paid to market that show a little bit.
I'm not
just putting that up.
I'm not biased at all. Uma Musume is peak. You can quote me on that, and I will die on that hill.
But I was saying, beginning after that, it kept showing up extremely high in our viewership ratings, like significantly above the number 2 show of the season. And I'm like, why, if everyone hates it so much, are they still watching
doing
it so much? And so
hate watching? Question mark.
So one, I think it's just such a big audience that they were just like in no matter what, and like the same way that I am right now with like Strange New World season 3, which is such a big step down from Star Trek Strange New World season 2. I know you've given up on Star Trek because you are a rational human being who values your time and respects yourself. But like, there's like, I was watching.
I still haven't watched the last 2 seasons of Discovery. Never will. Last
night, and I was like, "There's so much potential here, and there's so much good here, and the actors are so good, and yet, and so, but I can't turn myself away." And then immediately after, I tried to watch the last season of Discovery because I never finished that either, and I stopped within 5 minutes. But the point with the beginning after the end is I needed to understand it, and I'm like, oh, I get it. It's good enough that even if you're complaining, you're still kind of watching. Like, it's still good enough. And again, the animation thing I think is really overblown. The typical anime looked like this 10 years ago. Like, we've just kind of become spoiled. And so, like, do I wish it looked better? Yes, it is a world of difference from what I would expect for a show of this, like, stature.
I think
it was fine.
Yeah, it's fine. I think another part of the problem is, like, a lot of people who watched it and were like, man, this is terrible. It probably was one of the worst looking anime that they've ever seen because it appealed to such a large and, let's be honest, basic audience, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's just...
They tuned into it after watching the other Crunchyroll award-winning animated series that everybody and their dog watched.
Yeah, no, and if you go from Solo Leveling to the beginning after then, you're miserable.
Yeah. If you go from
because
Solo Leveling
Solo Leveling
or Mushoku Tensei or you know, like
JJK.
most most big isekai are decent, right? And you know, like people were, I mean, the big ones.
There's a base level of quality of isekai.
The worst looking anime most of the people who have seen this are likely to have seen is In Another World with My Smartphone. And there is a whole other strata of ugly, terrible anime below that like this doesn't even touch, right?
Wait, are you arguing that Smartphone is mid or good?
I'm arguing that Smartphone is the
visually
median level of like low quality animation and low quality storytelling that people who watch the beginning after the end are likely to have been exposed to.
I disagree because Smartphone is 12 years old now.
Yeah, you're right.
10 years old. And second of all, I actually think Smartphone looks better than most isekai these days.
You might be
even now.
Okay.
Isekai have some pretty sketchy production values on average, but the fact that they're just like exactly what the fans want for people who like isekai, they don't. It's kind of like with BL anime. You don't have to make it well animated. The fans will still be coming out
because there are some people who will just literally watch anything with that premise, no matter how terrible it is.
Yeah. Tell us more about the evil lord of an intergalactic empire, Geoff.
No. The evil lord of an intergalactic empire. Okay. Let me tell you.
I'm surprised I had to be the one to bring this up.
I mean,
let me be clear.
To be fair, it's a much uglier anime, I think, than the beginning after the end on average. I mean, it's got higher highs, but way lower lows.
Or lows, yeah. Yeah.
But I will say, I actually, like, out of all the trash that I watched, I fully finished that one. I even, like...
I'm not surprised.
As soon as, like,
after the discussion we had with Songwon, I am not surprised at all.
But it's the thing is, that one is, it's fun, and it's trashy, and it's, like, a lot trashier than most trashy isekai, and in a way that it just has fun with it. Instead of, like, being self-conscious about it, trying to make... like a story about it, or trying to act like this is legitimately sexy stuff that people are going to get really into. It just kind of makes fun of isekai and itself, while also telling a kind of serious story. The world, which is like a high-tech science fantasy Dune type scenario where entire solar systems are ruled over by millennia old noble families, is interesting and not something you see in anime basically ever. You see it in the occasional mecha anime, but it's like a very original setting. Even when it goes for like edgy stuff, the villain is the greatest parody of an edgy villain. I mean, not ever, but he is a very good parody of an edgy villain because he's literally just this malevolent entity who feeds on people's misery. And like he sets the main character up to fail by putting him in this like failing intergalactic dukedom, and then the main character just keeps succeeding and keeps thanking him for it. And this villain, who's I believe played by Mamoru Miyano.
It is Mamoru Miyano.
Yeah,
yep.
He's just like howling in pain every time the main character gives him gratitude, because gratitude causes him pain. So he has to go slink off to a guy doing a speed run and just make it so that on the last level of the speed run, he screws up and misses his time, and then he slurps up that bad feeling, goes to a Starbucks, makes a guy's whipped cream stick to the top of his lid, and then he's like, ah, yes, your suffering sustains me. And then he like goes back from that to try to mess with the main character some more, and it doesn't work out. And it's great. It's a really fun little gimmick.
Speaking of Mamoru Miyano,
yeah,
did either of you watch and or finish Dinner Table Detective?
No.
I watched 2 episodes and thought it was fine.
Wasn't your business promoting it? No? Okay.
We just saw it advertised everywhere when we were in Japan. It was everywhere.
Yeah,
I did a case study about it because it was really
okay.
interesting to me. But no, I didn't work on it.
Okay, for some reason I thought you guys did, but I guess just because the ads were everywhere when you guys came to Japan specifically.
When we were talking about it, and we were sort of looking forward to it, and I was looking forward to it, and then I watched it, and I was like, this is fine. And then I watched the second episode, and I'm like, this is still fine. And then I never felt compelled to watch episode 3.
I think you had the same problem I did, which is there are ads on Amazon.
Right. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, because otherwise I would have kept going.
That's also why I haven't finished G-Quacks.
So that's the last one I need to talk about, which is G-Quacks was the only anime last season that was like from episode 1, I'm like, Mono Apocalypse Hotel, this is my jam. I found my lane, and I'm going to take these both very slowly. With G-Quacks, I'm like, it is time to watch Gundam today. Not just because I didn't want to get spoiled, but also because like, that was my, like, it was very, very fun to watch a new Gundam every week and to watch one that was so referential and like...
That you actually understood because you're like very old head about Gundam.
The thing is, I'm not that old head about Gundam, and so like...
Compared to the modern audience, how many people watching the show actually has your knowledge of UC Gundam?
But Miles hasn't gotten to the one that his wife said would be his favorite one day, which is Zeta.
He's still seen way more UC Gundam.
I've seen like 20 episodes of Zeta right now.
Oh, okay. So then you do appreciate all of... I mean, G-Quacks is basically alternate Zeta, so...
Yeah. No, I mean, so like also my wife was explaining things to me when necessary while watching G-Quacks, which is helpful. It was... I saw a tweet today saying like, man, I missed this experience because it was nice having it feel like the creators of the show were in conversation with fans of lifelong fans of Gundam. And I'm like, yeah, that was the vibe I got. And so for all the show's faults and issues and like inconsistencies, I just had a great time. Like, I don't think it's a list contender.
No.
But I cannot...
There are better Gundams that we can talk about for the list.
Yeah, I mean, we got
more highly about watching it week to week.
We still got to figure out how the list is even going to handle Gundam, to be frank. But
all good Gundams are good Gundams.
All good. Yeah, I really want to watch it, but like Yazy, like I want to be back with Yazy and just binge it all together. That's kind of where I'm at with that one.
What, for G-Quack specifically or a different Gundam?
No, G-Quack specifically. Because, I mean, we watched the first 4 episodes together, or like the first 3 episodes in the movie format in a Japanese movie theater, and that was a really great experience. And I kind of just want to watch the rest of the episodes with her. Plus, it was on Amazon, so it was just very difficult to make myself sit down and watch it. Yeah, for other stuff,
I'm kind of tapped out. I've looked at pretty much everything, and there's not much else from last season that either I know we're talking about elsewhere on the pod, or...
I mean, like...
And we will be doing an apocalypse. We will be doing an episode about Apocalypse Hotel.
We will be doing that's kind of why we're not talking about Apocalypse Hotel, because it's so good it is a list contender.
We are up in the air on what we're going to do about Lazarus. Stay tuned for that.
I mean, that one was
fine.
Yeah, which is very disappointing, but not
as disappointing as Witch Watch.
Was Witch Watch disappointing? I didn't watch much beyond the first episode.
I wonder why.
Case in point. Yeah.
Because I mean, for me, I actually enjoyed the first episode more than I did reading the manga, because I thought
I read the manga and I enjoyed the heck out of it, and then I watched the anime and I'm like, I'm okay.
I watched the first episode. I was like, I'm liking these gags more than I did in the manga, just because of the voice acting and the music and other stuff that helps the comedic timing.
And the OP's pretty good.
But then I realized I would not be able to talk about it in any capacity in any way, because the worst anime copyright company is managing it. So
right, yeah. Oops.
Yeah, like the 2-minute segment of it plus a 10-second little bit in the intro to my ones to watch got claimed by this company. 10 seconds of just Witch Watch footage over me talking about other anime. Not even 10 seconds. I think one of them was 4 seconds. It doesn't matter.
10 seconds. 10 seconds for the bots to catch it. Less if it's a manual claim.
Well, I mean, this company has they claim stuff from the master tapes of the anime. They're real freaks about it.
And Geoff and I would both like to recommend everyone who didn't watch it last season, Gag Manga Biori Go.
Yeah, Gag Manga Biori, definitely go watch that. That one's hysterical. My Hero Academia Vigilantes is one that I was really excited for, but have not watched yet just because I've already read the manga. So I'm I'm just when I'm in the mood, I'll sit down and watch it. I personally think that Vigilantes is a tighter and better story than the main Hero Aka series. I know that's kind of a hot take, but I think...
I don't think that's a hot take, honestly. Having not watched it also, just the general vibes that I've got online for it, I don't feel like that's a hot take.
Especially if you say tighter. Of course it is.
Yeah, I mean, of course it's tighter, but I also think it's... I generally like the characters more, generally like the street level action more than the big stakes fights of Hero Aka. Also, I bring this up every time because I think it's amazing. The team that made Hero Aka Vigilantes got to work on another spin-off manga of a very popular superhero franchise recently, Spider-Man Octopus Girl, which is legitimately one of the best Spider-Man comics to come out in the last several decades. Though enough. I have no doubt Vigilantes is a good anime because it's the JoJo director.
And we can all agree that the woman from Kowloon Generic Romance is extremely hot.
One of the hottest animated women ever made. I need to finish that one. That one, yeah, I only watched the first episode and I was like, save it to binge.
And Tristan's last recommendation, Yandere Dark Elf. She chased me away from another world.
God, that one's so...
Did I even watch that?
No, you probably didn't.
No, I did.
I watch everything, so you don't have to, Tristan Gallant.
Yandere...
Depends. I think that was a short. Wasn't that a short anime?
Yandere Dark Elf...
15 minutes.
Yeah, it was 15. It was 15 minutes, and it was High Dive exclusive, and it's, basically hentai, and not even the best basically hentai anime of that season. I would argue that Makina-san Love Bot is more entertaining. So Yandere and Dark Elf, he gets followed home by a Dark Elf. She's a Yandere. She's in love with him. That's it. You have the entire premise right there. Makina-san Love Bot actually has a really great twist, though, which is it's about this nerdy guy. He's got this hot Gyaru classmate who he's in love with. She follows him home one day after her apartment is blown up. And also half of her body is blown up. and she needs his nerd help to fix her robot parts because she's a love bot who has been sent to infiltrate human society using her sexual seduction techniques in order to do something we're not sure yet. The only hiccup there being that she was not programmed with literally any knowledge of sexual intercourse whatsoever, and also was programmed to not be able to ask anyone. So she's just kind of trying to figure out what sex is while being a sex bot. And that's very funny. Much better than Yandere Dark Elf, which is just isekai crap, like the most generic isekai crap and harem crap you've seen in a really long time.
And on that note,
I can't believe that's where we're ending. We haven't talked about Ninja and Assassin Under One Roof yet.
You know, I've cooled on that. We had this big long discussion during the North panel about it because I was really jazzed about it at the time.
You were.
I kind of cooled on it. It had a really strong start, probably one of the strongest starts from the whole season. And then it just sort of petered out. It's like it had a concept and it ran out of good ideas for that concept somewhere about halfway through with a couple of brief sputters near the end. And then it was one of those, hey, hope we get a season 2 sort of thing. And I'm like, oh, okay. That was a thing.
Yeah, I want to tell you guys about one more trashy anime that I need you to know about because it's one of those kicked out of a hero's party thing. But like the specifics of it are so wild despite it being fundamentally terrible. The Brilliant Healer's New Life in the Shadows.
Oh, yeah, no, I watched that. Yeah.
It was so the premise.
No, you don't need to tell me the premise. I know it, but feel free to do it for
the audience. The premise seems so good. It's a back alley, illegal, unlicensed healing mage, doing like helping a slum by doing unlicensed healing magic. Right, basically like a underground black market doctor type situation, but magic. And that sounds like a really interesting setup.
You can also get the
Jack. Huh.
Almost, blackjack, but magic.
Blackjack.
Sounds like a great idea. First episode is the harem arguing about who gets to cook him dinner. So, like,
which, by the way, we've bypassed from where the manga was, where it actually introduced all these people are. No, it just starts straight up. The harem's here now. It's already built.
Great. Yeah, thank God. I don't want to watch the crew to get together. This is no heist movie.
And then we go back an episode, and it turns out that how he met the harem is they all just kind of showed up at his house one after another. It's just so poorly executed. But then, like, he ends up becoming, like, the uniting factor of all of the demi-human gangs, basically, like, Magic Fred Hampton.
The problem is he doesn't seem to care. The
Magic CIA sends assassins after him to, like...
My problem is just how apathetic he is. Because he doesn't care. Like, he wants to heal people. If anybody shows up, he'll heal them. But, like, the show feels like it wants to introduce all of these, like, more greater... either political or societal questions. But at the end of the day, the MC just doesn't give a damn. Yeah. He doesn't get involved. He's just sort of there. And you could remove him and most of the plot would still happen. Just except that now they don't have a healer. He doesn't need to be the MC, but he is. It feels like a role that was forced onto him just so that they could have an MC and a whole harem and yada, yada, yada. But he is so uninteresting as a POV character.
And the harem is so boring.
That too.
Yeah, which is crazy because the harem is a bunch of demi-human gang leaders who are in a gang war with each other. That should be amazing.
Well, they're not in a gang war with each other as soon as they join the harem.
Because he stages a sit-in at the Magic Rec Center and instantly solves all the gang war problems. It's like, it has all of these like genuinely interesting world building and socio-political ideas, and then it just consistently doesn't do anything with any of them.
I don't even think it has those ideas. I think it just like is reading off Wikipedia and just changing some proper nouns around. And then, like, that's the level of depth we get to, you know?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's taking these Wikipedia things and then molding them into a very, very standard isekai, not isekai, but, you know, isekai adjacent fantasy harem template.
Yeah.
And that one was really frustrating to me because like there were all of these times where I was like, wow, that's a really nice idea. And then they just drop the ball immediately and do the most generic thing possible.
So your favorite anime, Geoff, of the season?
Favorite anime of the season? I think Apocalypse Hotel.
Apocalypse Hotel for me too.
Yeah, it's really tough to beat that one.
Musume, Cinderella Grey.
So no matter who wins, Cygames wins.
Cygames wins. Yep.
Cygames wins.
We love you,
and,
Cygames.
and everybody watching our podcast also wins. God,
Good
Cygames, please give us some. We will promote the heck out of Uma Musume. Tristan will do it for free, but pretend you didn't hear that for negotiating purposes.
I have my limits. I have my dignity. I can also be paid in-game carrots. I will gladly accept in-game carrots or free debut tickets. Probably around the time that Super Creek goes back on Raid Up. Please and thank you. I'd very much like an MLB Super Creek. That would be great. Thank you, Cygames.
And now it's time for our main topic. Today's main topic for our quest for the best is Takopi's Original Sin. This is a six episode?
Six.
It's basically 7 because it's a double episode to start, but
yeah,
6 episode OVA.
ONA.
Okay, ONA. Thank you, Geoff.
Can't put this on TV.
That covers a similarly short anime, or that adapts a similarly short manga. And yes, it is done in this way because you cannot put this on TV. So, quick warning for everybody. Like it says at the beginning of every episode of Takopi, this show is disturbing to the nth degree. Features a lot of, child death, child suicide, all that good stuff. So please be very careful.
All that good stuff.
And
all that good stuff.
Child abuse. Very graphic child abuse. No, like this show deals with some really intense topics.
It does.
And so please make sure you are in a good mental place before watching this. Please be aware of who you're watching it with. There's a lot of disturbing content in this title.
Keep a crisis line on speed dial.
So Takopi's Original Sin is about a 9-year-old girl named Shizuka who gets bullied relentlessly. Like when you say bullied, like never seen anime bullying like this ever. Like honestly, in all of fiction, I don't think I've actually seen bullying this brutal of this poor little 9-year-old girl. And one day after school, she meets a little pink octopus-shaped alien who she names Takopi.
He's shaped like a friend.
He's a friend. Takopi is an Happian from the planet Happy, and he has come with a bunch of his happy gadgets to try and make Shizuka's life better because Shizuka shared food with him when he first crash landed to Earth. And so he tries to help her out, and he ends up making things a little bit worse in the process, and eventually Shizuka takes her own life using one of his happy gadgets. At which time, he resets the time using one of his happy gadgets to try and see if he can't save her. And so at the beginning, the first 20 minutes, you think, is this going to be a Groundhog Day situation? And I will not. We're going to talk about it a little bit before we get into spoilers, but that's where we start. That's the first half of episode 1. And it's about the relationship between these 3 broken children and this alien Takopi, and all of their traumas are very much in the forefront. That is the setup for the show. And so we got lots of child abuse. Shizuka is, basically abandoned by both of her parents. Her bully, Marina, is abused physically and verbally and emotionally. Their other classmate, Azuma, is also
emotionally abused pretty intensely. And so these 3 small children, these 3 like 9-year-olds, it's about their trauma, their struggles, and yeah, it's quite the show.
All that good stuff.
All that good stuff. Yeah. I think it's also important to note, like, this doesn't matter as much from like the perspective of a Westerner watching it, and you can fully appreciate it without the context. But like, it is important to note that Takopi is a very clear and intentional riff on the Doraemon formula. Yeah. So Doraemon, if you don't know, is about a happy little alien from outer space, alien robot from outer space, coming down to help a nerdy little guy with his fun little space gadgets every week.
This is not that.
It's one of the longest running gag manga in the history of gag manga. One of the most popular anime in existence in Japan and has been for decades. Everybody knows Doraemon.
But not knowing Doraemon, I don't feel like impacts the viewing experience of this.
No,
like it probably helps.
But you like even if you haven't seen it, you understand the gimmick of this is a happy little cartoon guy who is here to help little cartoon kids with their little cartoon problems using his magic happy gadgets. And he's just accidentally ended up in a very serious drama with real consequences for your actions.
A very different show.
And Takopi, one of the things that I missed in the original introduction, Takopi is the most naive, like childlike little alien pink boys around. And so, he sees, Shizuka's like, oh, I don't have a dad. And he's like, oh, humans don't have two parents. That's so weird.
Yeah. And when she's like getting attacked by her bullies, she's like, wow, those girls sure do talk to you a lot. They must be your friends, huh?
All it would take is just you and you two getting together and then you
talk
can
about
talk
your
it out.
Yeah,
Here, why don't I hand you this happy rope? You tie it to yourself and you tie it to your friend and then
ribbon.
you're best friends.
Happy ribbon. It's the red ribbon of fate. It creates a infinitely stretching bond between you and another person that will never break.
I would say that ribbons are more likely to break than ropes when used for a particular purpose.
Unless they're magical.
Unless they're magical, I guess.
And Takopi promises her just before she hangs herself in the first episode, oh, it won't break no matter what.
And she's like, oh, that sounds great. Thank you.
So I showed this to two of my slightly more normie-ish friends without any introduction, expectation, or preparation.
You didn't warn them at all?
Nope. I'm just like, hey, check out this cool new anime that just came out. And I mean, it has the suicide warning at the beginning. So I like...
If they're paying attention, sure.
No, even if it's pretty prominent. It's like as prominent as Doki Doki Literature Club.
I don't know how many people are going to go into Doki Doki Literature Club and don't know what's going on.
I went into it blind when I originally played it when it launched.
Oh, well, okay.
But, and that is the best way, I think, to go into Takopi too.
I almost disagree.
Not knowing anything about how it's going to go.
So knowing that much, that first 20 minutes worth, I think is helpful for preparing yourself.
So, although I do think you can also tell something is going to go down with Shizuka very soon. Like, this isn't going to end well.
Not to that extent, though. Like, it doesn't look promising, but I feel like the show goes a lot darker than normally you would have expected. And
then keeps going darker.
That's why, like, on the one hand, I do understand the mentality of wanting people to go into it blind because the like shock factor and effect of it will be a lot stronger. But also at the same time, I would be very careful who I tell somebody to watch this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because it could go very badly.
Yeah.
And that's why the people I showed it to, like, I'd done a lot of thinking about it. And also, by that time, I'd watched episodes 2 and 3 as well. And so I had affirmed that it was not torture porn, which was my biggest concern watching episode 1, because the physical abuse of these children is so blatant. The bullying is so violent and cruel. The, emotional abuse is like every episode you watch of the show is like, rips your gut out, rips your heart out. Like, it is really, 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 really a hard watch. And then it's juxtaposed with the happiest alien of all, Takopi's, with its cute music, bouncing around the screen, coming up with
Let's
new
go
happy
talk
gadgets.
about what life is like on Planet Happy.
Yeah, I mean...
And saying it like that, to be honest, sorry, Geoff, setting it up like that, it makes it sound really shallow. And I think if you read the manga, you could easily get a more shallow feeling from it. And I think this is an anime that really takes full advantage of the medium. They animated the hell out of this show.
They really did.
Like 12 episodes of peak animation squeezed into 6, right? It really, like, just the framing, the directing, the storyboarding, every bit of animation, all of the sound effects, like all of Takopi's little like boinks and wiggles and like cute sounds are phenomenal and really like make this very cartoonish looking alien feel very real within this world. And then all these characters, brutal depictions, like it feels like too much at first, but I do promise the show justifies itself and its brutality. It's still way more brutal than almost anything. Like you have to get into some indie film to get to this level of brutality, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, oh man, to give you some idea of how brutal it gets, they start by killing a dog, and it's all downhill from there.
Good dog.
This is
Part of our good dog. Part of our good dog conversation.
Yeah.
Bringing it back.
Where all the main characters are also like,
in some way, shape, or form, somewhat irredeemable at some point.
I mean, that's kind of the like. I mean, that's the
point.
thematic. That's the thematic underpinning of the whole show. As directly stated at one point, Takopi, you absolute dumbass. Human beings can be good and bad at the same time.
Yeah, because I mean, I would even say that the title kind of gives it away in that Takopi as a character is probably the most innocent and somewhat wholesome of the entire cast, but the title explicitly states Takopi's original sin. So you know that even this little ball of goofy goodness can do some shit.
I mean, the kind of what the original sin is changes from episode to episode. And that's one of the really interesting philosophical points, is trying to figure out what is Takopi's original sin. And when it finally drills it down, I mean, you know, we don't want to get into spoilers, obviously.
Just yet. Yeah.
But like,
I almost argue we shouldn't at all for this particular case.
No, we can't have a serious discussion about the themes of this, like without diving into spoilers.
But before then, you were saying, Geoff,
the original sin is, I think, the most spoilery point of discussion in the whole show, unfortunately. So we'll have to, I gotta back off from what I wanted to say, and we'll come back to that.
Do you guys recommend this show? Like, I think this is a really interesting conversation to, like, I want to have a big part of this conversation before we get into spoilers, because it really matters for this one, and it's also a very recent show. Like, the show finished within the last week or two of recording.
Which is why we're
doing it now.
Accelerating it up our schedule.
So I have a mini monologue / discussion on this particular point.
Okay, go for it.
Which is, there are two films, one live action and one anime, that I think of when I think of whether or not I would recommend someone to watch Takopi. The first is the wonderfully great animated film Grave of the Fireflies, which was originally released by Studio Ghibli on the exact same night as a double feature with My Neighbor Totoro. Wonderful tonal whiplash if you watch both of those back to back, by the way. Grave of the Fireflies is a movie that I think is absolutely phenomenal. It is well animated, well directed, well pretty much everything. You cannot pay me to watch it again. Conversely, there is a live action 90s anime that I don't know if Geoff will have seen, but I'd be surprised if Miles hasn't watched it.
Live action anime?
Not anime, live action film, sorry.
Okay.
Live action film, not anime related at all. Released, it was an Italian film called Life is Beautiful. And I haven't seen it, no. It is a very tonal whiplash kind of film that starts wonderfully. It is very nice. It is very cool. It is very good. And then World War II happens, and suddenly it is not a fun movie anymore. And then it ends very not fun movie anymore. However, I could sit down and watch Life is Beautiful again, despite it having some really dark things that I don't know if I would necessarily recommend to people. So the point of these two films is that I would recommend Grave of Fireflies to almost anyone, but you cannot get me to watch it again. I don't know how many people I would recommend Life is Beautiful for, but I would watch it. Takopi is kind of the worst of both. I don't know how many people I could recommend this to. And again, you will not be able to pay me enough money to watch this again. It is a great series. I will be part of the discussion arguing that it should be on the list. But I will probably never want to watch it again for how much I did not enjoy the experience, despite the greatness and the well-executed production that it is, if that makes sense.
So I was really surprised on this note because I thought I was going to feel the same way as you. And then when I turned it on for my friends, I was so engrossed again, even though I had just watched the first episode. The first episode's 45 minutes. Yeah. And I watched it with my dudes at their place. And I was like, I want to watch the whole series again now. And my first thought after I finished watching it was, this was a perfect piece of media. I want to start over from the beginning right away.
Yeah, I'm more in line with Miles. I think like it's so cinematically dense. There's no way to get everything out of it the first time you watch it.
Yeah.
And like just for that alone, I'd want to rewatch it. But also, like, as much as horrible as all the things they go through are, and as horrible as they themselves are at points, I love the characters in it. I find them fascinating, and also just like I feel for them, right? And going back and spending time with them again, I wouldn't regret. And I think I would recommend this anime. Not the only people,
outwardly, not like, hey, random stranger, you should go watch this.
The only people I wouldn't recommend it to are people who will have like a traumatic response to it, right? You know,
but that's
like,
kind of the thing is like, you don't know what everybody's going through. And I would always be worried that you're showing it to someone you think is happy and is having a good time, but that's really a mask and they're not showing you how much of a bad time they're having.
To be honest, those are some of the people who need to watch this the most.
Are people who are having a bad time. I agree. I'm like,
I think this is actually more helpful than a lot of other content that is dealing with suicide quite so brazenly.
Yeah,
I think it is really powerful.
I think the ultimate message and the original sin, which we can't really get into yet, the ultimate answer to some of its big questions is not as it's not oppressive. It's not something that's going to drag you down. It is ultimately, I think, an uplifting story, but you have to go through it to get there. And like, yeah, I'm with Miles that I think people who are going through it, this might be a really good thing for you. But if you have specific trauma, like triggerable trauma responses, that is the case where I would say
it's hard. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a hard.
This is why, like, the thing is, I will recommend this extremely highly to anyone who asks, but I want you to ask.
Yeah.
Or I want you to be like in a place where you can handle it, because it is, I literally was sick to my stomach every other episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I felt sick.
I marathoned the whole damn show.
We told you not to do that. We both told you not to do that, Tristan.
You also told me with less than a week before this recording, hey, we're going to talk about Takopi. You should watch it.
No, that's how important it is.
Then I watched an episode. I watched 2 episodes. Technically 3 because of the run length, which we keep mentioning. And I'm like, I feel like absolute garbage now. I'm going to continue to feel like garbage and watch all of this today so that hopefully tomorrow I don't feel like garbage, which was not the case because I ended up feeling like garbage the next day anyway.
And
despite
probably the
other
day
things
after.
we were doing that day. Spoilers to other things. But it's been a rough couple of days. It's been a rough couple of days.
That's understandable. That's why if you recall, what we actually said to you to do was to watch one episode and see if it was something you felt like you could watch more of.
Yeah, we did do that, literally.
We like specifically.
Yeah, you wanted me to watch it on our Sunday nights on a day that I was feeling very good. Such a good day. In retrospect, I am so glad I didn't do that.
I actually think it would have been better for you if we did watch it together.
Because I have been not having a good time since then, which was 3 days ago. If I watched it when you guys told me to, it would have been the last 5 days I would have been having a bad time.
Or
no,
maybe
thank
you'd
you.
be over it by now.
Ask me again in 2 days.
Or maybe you would have been able to process it a little more healthily because your best buds would have been watching it with you and you could have talked about it a little.
We would have only been able to watch like the first episode together, in fairness.
Yeah, but I mean that first
and it gets worse beyond that.
I mean the first episode's
it's pretty bad, but it's mostly like shock in comparison to the rest of the series.
The first episode makes you think there's so much more hope than there actually is.
No. The first 20 minutes gave me hope. It disappeared real quick.
No, I think with the
No, the happy camera does not seem like a hopeful thing.
No,
it doesn't. Yeah, you're right. But I mean,
that seems like some Monica shit of like, we're going to go back in time and compound all of your terrible feelings.
Point.
Yeah, that's...
I'm reminded of a point I wanted to make because I was trying to like, again, process all of this through the last couple of days. I really felt like Takopi and its presentation was kind of like a reverse Madoka, a reverse Bokurano, in where those shows you got, hey, happy-go-lucky little girls that once become magical girls. This cat thing shows up, gives them magical powers, and it's not a good cat thing. You get to Bokurano and you have Dung Beetle. It's like, hey, let's all pilot a mech and save the world, guys. And Dung Beetle's like, ha ha ha, guess what? And Takopi is the reverse of that, where you actually have the happy-go-lucky little sidekick character, and he's thrown into a world where everything else has gone to hell.
Yeah, I talked about this in Once to Watch. It's like most things that are dark subversions, they darkly subvert the genre by making the cutest and most comfortable part of that genre the thing that's messed up, actually. And the brilliance of Takopi is
it doesn't do that.
It plays Doraemon completely straight and throws him into this completely messed up scenario where it's totally inappropriate.
There are a couple of times where I felt like Takopi had a heel turn or a bait and switch down the line. Because it's one of those, like, he plays the innocence and the not knowing much about humanity so straight. It does remind me of the times that, like, you'd listen to Cube monologue about entropy and how he just doesn't care. You think he does, but he really doesn't. And it's not that he's, like, trying to be malicious. I never thought that Cube as a character was malicious. He's just very matter of fact and doesn't give a shit. His empathy level is 0.
Yeah,
he's a cat.
He's a cat. Yeah, I mean, can we get into spoilers now?
Might as well.
Just
unless there's another thing you want to go. Yeah.
This show is essential. This story is essential. Again, I know that like it sounds like the distance. This sounds like it's like Edgelord stuff with the cute thing, like that's so tired or whatever. I do really want to encourage you if you really appreciate really well written stories of any kind, and you can stomach pretty explicit child abuse and suicide and the like. If you can watch this, I really encourage you to. I would not have been able to watch this 10 years ago, right? I would not have been able to make my way through it at all. I'm really glad I'm now emotionally in a place where I can watch this and it not only be okay for me, but it feels like empowering and makes me feel a lot of different things. But I do want to just say, like, if you are in a place of your life where you can watch this, please watch.
Yeah. I that's just it. It's hard to say why it's important without getting into spoilers, but I do
spoilers.
think it's...
Here we go.
Okay. All right. So to go to what Tristan was saying about how Takopi's innocence almost loops back around to apathy. That is, I think, the most interesting thing about this entire story is at first, we're in spoilers now. At first, you think the original sin is murder because Takopi commits murder. And also that locks him into a timeline because he commits murder with his magic time travel camera and breaks it in the process.
And then suddenly the whole Groundhog Day thing that you think is going to be the linchpin of the entire narrative, suddenly by episode 3?
Episode 2.
Instead of episode 2.
Instead of episode 2. Already done. Already gone.
Which
you killed a girl.
Yeah.
She's still happy-go-lucky in the opening every time you watch it, though, so that's a tonal whiplash for you.
That was so weird.
Can I just say that
opening.
The opening making the like cute little nonsense words chorus, happy, lucky, chappy, is some of the dirtiest work I have ever seen any songwriter do. Just every time I hear chappy, I'm like, ooh, it's a little twist of the knife, you know?
Oh, speaking of dogs, I hate Chappie.
You hate Chappie?
Yeah.
Now that we're in spoiler territory.
Now that we're in spoilers, that dog. So because that dog is such a crutch for Shizuka, and also that dog is just, like, was it terrible that Marina like kills the dog? Yeah, absolutely. The worst thing in the world. But that dog ends up being a force for evil in this show.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say the dog itself is a force for evil. I would say that it
more
motivates evil.
More of the straw that broke the camel's back of evil sort of thing.
I mean,
the linchpin, as it were, the motivating factor, the Chekhov's gun that keeps firing.
The dog is more symbolic of than anything. Like Chappie is fundamentally blameless, and I am happy that in the ending, Chappie did in fact get to live to a ripe old age.
In the timeline where Takopi doesn't come, Chappie dies too, right?
So in the time, that's actually really important.
It's so interesting.
Multiple timelines.
But no, Takopi is directly responsible for Shizuka committing suicide, because in the original timeline, Marina still made Chappie bite her, got Chappie killed, which is like psychotic shit. But Shizuka tried to kill herself with a weak rope, and it broke, and then she was sent away to the city for a while, and then came back. But
Takopi gave her the friendship ribbon that doesn't break.
Takopi gave her the unbreakable friendship ribbon. So it is literally Takopi's fault. And all of this ties into the actual original sin, which, again, it gets rewritten like 3 different times. We first think his original sin is murder. Then we think that
which is a pretty bad sin.
A pretty bad sin. It doesn't really get questioned until we find out that this isn't the first loop, or that the first loop we saw isn't the first loop, which if you've watched that cutesy OP, you actually know already, because it shows him landing on the planet, getting shot down by some kind of, probably the US military, accidentally getting some of his alien components in a volcano and blowing up the entire Earth and getting arrested by the space police. That's like, which I think is a metaphor for how badly he screwed up with Marina. I'm not sure, but it turns out his original sin might be forgetting,
or jumping to murder is the first solution.
Jumping to murder is the first solution. So it is still kind of murder. But then in the last episode, we really understand that Takopi's original sin is trying to help without bothering to understand the situation.
Hey, I gotta go back in time because this girl said that if Shizuka was killed, everything would be fine. So I gotta go back in time and kill this girl.
Yeah, or I have to make this person smile. I don't really know what makes human beings happy or why she's sad in the first place on a fundamental level. And I'm not going to ask, but I am going to give her a magic time travel camera and a rope that doesn't break and just ask her to figure it out for herself. That's like...
Does he give her the camera?
No.
So, that's what I think is so important about this anime and so powerful, is that like it goes through this time loop and this cover up the murder and like all of these different sort of stacking stories about trying to like fix people, right? Fix their problems, fix their relationships, fix their situation. And then the actual solution is just to talk about what you're going through, right?
I mean, isn't a great case for that is I think it's like the 3rd episode where Takopi is playing Marina because they killed her and she's like buried in the woods. And so he's pretending to be her so that
nobody knows that she's gone.
Murder.
Yeah.
And she's getting beat up by her mom and by her dad. And
her dad's just ignoring her and going to bang Shizuka's mom.
Her dad threw things at her, made her bleed.
No, it was her mom.
No, I think I'm with Miles. No, I think that her dad did it too, but it was like part of a. It wasn't like something that it spent a lot of time on. Yeah.
I think maybe he threw something at her mom and it accidentally hit her or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But like, so that episode, you would think Takopi would then understand, oh, I now know what I don't know. Or, oh, now I know that it's not quite so simple. It's not just about sharing happy fruits.
I figured that wasn't going to actually change anything about his perspective from the time that he pretended to be Shizuka and met Marina out back and she beat the hell out of him. I was like, yeah, if that doesn't like,
I mean, that was just
ya.
scary for him, right? And
that was traumatic.
Yeah,
and he wasn't really thinking of, like, he was just, why is Marina doing this? Why is she so mean? And like,
but then it just kind of became an experience that he would take and then just put away and not really talk about, but bury it away.
That cements the idea in his head that Marina's a bad person, right? Like, he's got this very simplistic view of the world of like good people, bad people. He is a child. Right.
And then he's got to whack her with a camera. Yep.
And
you're correct.
just give her a little bump to stop.
Just a little bump. Wait.
Whoops.
Why is she bleeding? Why is she not breathing anymore? Uh-oh.
Oh, it's heavier than it looks like. Uh-oh. What a great Chekhov's gun moment, by the way. Just like, dude, this is heavier than it looks.
At the end of episode 2,
I wasn't joking when I said Chekhov guns keeps firing.
No, I mean, every episode had like at least one moment where I was like,
oh, that.
Although, man, I the thing is like Azuma, like his episode, the episode that focuses on him, that's the one kind of bright spot before the end. Because
he actually has a good brother. Because he actually has a good freaking family member who's like, why aren't you talking to me, bro?
But that's literally the whole solution right there, is like, just like, hey,
talk to me.
You could talk to me. I want to talk. I care about you. You're not alone, right? And like, the really tragic thing about Marina and Shizuka is that like they're
on the same side.
They're on the same side. Like, but fundamentally, both of their problems is Marina's shitty dad. And also Shizuka's shitty dad, and they're in the same situation of a shitty dad leaving their mom instead of like and abandoning them, right?
Well, and then their mom's emotionally abandoning them after that physical abandonment.
Although, I mean, actually, no, that's kind of the inverse, is that Shizuka's mom does abandon her, whereas Marina's mom. Marina's mom does the exact opposite of abandon her, which can be just as bad. And in this case is just as bad. She's
she abandons her as a child because she just becomes an extension of her. That's kind of what I'm saying. Like, it's a different kind of child abandonment. It's probably not the right word, but like, I do think it's still accurate.
Yeah. It's abuse. I mean, like in the alternate timeline, we see that like, Marina is essentially being her mom's mom. Like, her mom flips out at her for not buying kombucha, which...
not reordering it enough.
Not reordering it fast enough. Yeah, not even... Like, they were out, and she like...
Doesn't your mom deserve good liquor?
And
why haven't you got your mom good liquor?
Her mom, who has already glassed her, by the way.
Yeah,
like she's got this, like, permanent disfiguring scar on her face. Because I guess I don't know if
she was slow on Amazon before.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe that wouldn't have happened in the timeline where Shizuka kills herself. Maybe, but like
maybe it wouldn't have happened in the timeline where Amazon was actually good and didn't put ads in their anime.
Yeah, and
Tristan.
Also, like, it's just so
gotta put upbeat points somewhere, Mr. Miles. Even the show understands that. The show understands the fundamental principle of a spoonful of moe helps the tragedy go down.
Takopi is so funny, guys. Like, I want to rip my hair out while watching him, but also he's so cute.
He's so cute. And I mean, the thing is, like, he's even funny. I would say he's even funnier when the messed up stuff starts happening. He adds this like undercurrent of dark comedy to everything.
Because he's a straight man, essentially.
I mean, yeah.
The
doesn't
straightest
get it.
straight man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, yeah, he's just...
Oh, you're bleeding. Uh-oh, that's weird. How does that happen?
But like his complete failure to understand anything that's happening adds I think needed humor that helps to balance out how traumatic the stuff that's happening is.
Sometimes it's humor, sometimes it's levity, sometimes though I feel like it makes it worse.
Oh, with yeah, no, for sure.
In a good way, though.
Man,
Define good in that context.
In a progressing your emotional relationship with the show.
yeah,
Sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
like
Holy shit, Takopi, you did not just do that, dude.
And oh man, when Takopi, like, there's nothing more brutal in this show than the moment when the characters break and turn on Takopi and like start doing violence to Takopi. Like,
They all do it too, which is crazy.
They all do it.
These poor kids. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And like the show makes you sympathetic to Marina to the point, like, obviously I think the show hates Shizuka the most.
Yeah.
There's just like an underlying
she seems the most sympathetic at the start, but the further the show goes on, the more she's made out to be a villain of most of the timelines that we witness.
well,
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily say. I mean, yeah, I guess you could say
she
villain.
kills two small girls. Like,
No, she
kills them.
kidnaps two small girls, and Takopi stops her from killing them.
And then she kills Takopi.
No, she
And then
doesn't.
she goes,
No, she and Takopi. I mean, I guess she does technically because he
The
sacrifices
timeline gets
himself.
the timeline gets a little muddled when she kind of whacks him over the head with a pointy rock in Tokyo. I mean, things get a little iffy around that point timeline-wise.
the thing is, a lot of Shizuka's actions are premeditated, whereas Marina's are more emotional reactions to things.
Well, I mean, killing the
Not
dog
always.
was absolutely premeditated.
Oh yeah, no, but
But
that's the
Shizuka's
worst.
killing of other people.
And Shizuka also like plotting for Marina's death, plots for Marina's
And plotting
death
how to
a
get
little bit
away
more.
with it. Like
Yeah.
burying the body and figuring all that stuff out. Yeah.
I mean, Marina is more like her mother in that she like has this affect that she's trying to keep up, but then this like brutally violent impulse underneath it, and anything can set her off.
Shizuka is also the one that's like, hey, somebody's got to go away for murder for this. Hey, Azuma, you like me, right? Can you do this thing for me and go admit to murder so that you go to jail and I don't?
The
Like-
messed up thing is, I like fully believe that she meant it when she said she'd wait for him, and that's like the most messed up thing.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that doesn't.
I mean,
So
she's
like love is about sacrifice, right? So like she has nothing she's sacrificing by waiting for him, right?
because she
Like,
has
and-
nothing.
And the thing is, she's waiting for him, but she has nothing to offer. She's 9 years old, but also like when I say she has nothing to offer him, it's like she doesn't even like have love to offer him. Is kind of my point, right?
Yeah.
Like she can't return his feelings. She'll wait for him, but that doesn't mean anything. And Azuma, his obsession with her is because she looks like his mom.
Literally just that,
Which is so funny. And then, but also like he does feel sympathetic, and he does feel like he can be the big brother to her too, a little bit. So it's not just
He has a
looks,
bit of
but
a savior complex.
I
towards
do.
her.
It is so funny.
I do really appreciate that, like, literally all it takes for him to, like, completely get over that suicidal level of simping is just his brother being like, hey, man, you know, I'm bad at Monster Hunter.
Also, Mom makes really shitty pancakes.
Yeah, the pancakes were terrible. You weren't missing anything.
You guys know that that's not true, right?
The pancakes?
The pancakes were delicious. He was just being a big bro.
You think so?
I mean, that's good enough.
100%.
That's good enough.
It doesn't matter whether the pancakes were good or not, but they were definitely delicious.
I mean, I actually...
Name the worst fucking pancake you've had in your life, Geoff.
It's very hard to mess up a pancake. Actually, no, that's a lie. You can mess up pancakes very easily if you leave like bits of flour or especially baking like powder in the pancake and you just right down on it.
Beautiful. Those were beautiful pancakes, though, and you could tell. And if his
They might
mom is
look
a
beautiful.
surgeon, if his mom's a surgeon, she's at least got the technical prowess to not make those kind of rookie mistakes. I'm telling you, those pancakes were delicious. And he said, like, but when they've been sitting out all day, like, they're not as good. Bullshit. I've had pancakes sitting out all day. They're still good. Listen, he was just being a good big brother, okay? And that's fine.
Okay. I mean, he is a really good older brother.
He's
just
such a good big brother.
The only just source of pure light in the entire show, really.
They could have very easily made him just as bad as their mom.
Everyone else.
But they didn't.
You
thought it might happen. You were waiting for the heel turn.
Thought it might happen. Azuma had this like image of his brother in his head this whole time. And then he was like, oh, no, he's the only guy who understands me. He's the only guy who's like seen how our mom is. Like, it's so powerful.
Yeah. But also, like, his brother does seem to have suffered from like golden child syndrome. And it's one of those, he very easily could just have not paid attention to that and been like, oh, this is just how it is. This is just how life is. Obviously, I get all of this love and attention, and you don't. That's just how this works. But he doesn't do that, because he's actually a good person. He's probably one of the only few good people we meet in the entire show.
Well, I mean, that's
literally the only one.
Yeah.
I mean, when he bites...
The only unambiguously good one, but like I think one of the most important fundamental points of Takopi is that like all of the characters except Junya are both good and bad people. Like Marina is like the first 3 episodes paint Marina as one of the most horrific monsters in all of anime. Just this like relentlessly evil force. And then
there have been worse.
I don't know, man. There's not a lot of anime villains I can think of who've like killed the main character's dog, looked at him and smiled. It's kind of just Dio. And if we're talking about Dio, that automatically makes her one of the most evil.
There's also, there's also that other one that unfortunately, due to a pre-signed armistice, we can't fully discuss.
I mean, that's not... He doesn't kill the dog. Arguably,
we signed an armistice.
We signed an armistice. Okay, so then you see the flip side, and like Marina's not a great person, but you see what she's going through, like what she feels like are her responsibilities. Because like even as she resents her mom, she's like, I have to be here for my mom because I'm the only one who can be here for my mom, and I can't hate my dad because he's my dad. So it's kind of just this like proxy situation where she attacks Shizuka because she's accessible and like tangentially related to part of the problem. But like, actually, it's her dad's fault. If you get into it, it's her dad's fault. And then also probably a little bit her mom's fault for being horrible, because like realistically, can you fully blame the guy for checking out of that marriage? If she,
but he should have fully checked out is the problem.
He should have checked out. He should have divorced.
That half measure is way worse for everyone involved.
Yes.
But like Shizuka's dad, I wanted to punch him in the face. Like there's no other character that I just hated more than Shizuka's dad.
He got that like you only see him really once, and like what a detestable human being. If instead of the kids, which again, it's because they're accessible, she probably could not do the level of violence that she wanted to do to an adult man. But like, if she'd just killed her dad, I wouldn't have blamed her, you know?
No, I mean, and so like, this is the thing. The fact that all these children characters are so flawed and don't really show very many redeeming qualities other than showing, Takopi a little grace. Like that's the one nice thing that they all do. But they all also show him violence too. I love them all so much anyway. Like these are just 3 broken children. Like,
yes.
And so I love them all. And I like, no matter what the show has done to them. And so at the end, seeing like, Marina and Shizuka can relate with their shitty families. Like they can find some common ground, and
they don't need the happy friendship ribbon to do it.
Yeah.
They do though. No, they have it. They actually have it. That's the thing.
Yeah, Takopi, it becomes the ribbon.
Marina seeing the little cute Takopi in Shizuka's notebook is the happy ribbon, right?
And then they relate over memories that they don't have.
No, but they don't even need the memories of that to relate is the thing. And that's the thing.
But it's just kind of the impetus for it, though.
Yeah, it's the trigger, and it is their red ribbon of fate, but it is not the main reason why they're friends even.
It's this like first point of, oh, we can talk to each other. And I love one of my favorite bits of writing is how they get to the point where they like give each other shit about their own shitty families.
Yeah.
Like when she's just like, oh man, your dad's a real scumbag, and she's like, whose fault's that? And gives her a little kick in the ankle. Like, it's real best friends energy, but also like, I don't know. It's a very powerful just moment in general.
The manga, I read the last chapter of the manga after watching the anime because my wife had been reading the manga as we were going and had just always kept a little bit ahead, and I think that helped her also watch the anime without getting as sick to her stomach as I did, because
when you know what's going to happen next, it's a lot less like.
It was still very hard for her to watch, but like I think it was a help. But then she told me, Miles, you need to check out the manga because the anime is so much better. Because not only is the ending more hopeful and like feels more honest, but also feels more honest. How is it more hopeful and feels more honest? That's actually kind of the power of the anime. Just seeing Takopi move around brings a huge amount of that levity, right? Like, he is just very fun to watch. He is one of the most brilliantly animated characters in animation. Like, I will be watching the show over and over again to watch that dumb little octopus alien he's hop around.
It's peak character design on par with the Dragon Quest slime.
Yes.
On par with Kuromi from Paranoia Agent?
Yes, on par with... I would actually say substantially better than Kuromi. Because
he's a lot simpler.
Kuromi's kind of like a parody of the idea of a Hello Kitty, whereas Takopi is actually not a Hello Kitty, but you know, he's a Dragon Quest slime. He is a perfectly designed mascot. He's just so fun to draw, so fun to animate.
Easy to draw too.
Yeah. And flexible to animate because he's just so malleable. It's such a great animation design. I think this, the acting from like all of the characters adds a lot.
All the character acting is obscene. Like, you really understand these people.
In terms of physicality and voice acting, right? Like,
yeah.
And I mean, the anime also adds that like level of cinematicism that I think I haven't read the manga, to be clear, but it feels like it's elevating everything that it can.
Been watching this alongside the summer Hikaru died, and my wife had read all that manga before, right?
Yeah.
Which is a great anime. We'll talk about it later. But one thing she said was like, this is a good adaptation of the manga. It captures the manga very well. The Takopi anime elevates it to the nth degree. And like, from what I've read of the Takopi manga, and I'm going to probably read the whole thing, not just the last chapter, as soon as I can, but like, I could not agree more. Like, it's good source material. It's extremely well written, but like, I do think that there was a lot of really talented people who went into making this an experience, and it feels like they really vetted it, because it's a tough one to make. It's tough to make this not suck, to make this not torture porn, to make this not feel really basic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they did a really good job with it. So then we get to do the very difficult thing of where the hell is this going on the list? Because here's the problem that I was having when trying to figure this out pre-recording. So much of, like, when it really comes down to the bare bones of deciding where things are going on the list, especially when I'm trying to either sell or like bargain with you guys on it, it really comes down a lot of the times to how much I enjoyed watching the show. And as I previously stated, I did not enjoy watching this at all. So it's very difficult. No, I'm not, Miles. I'm really not. So then when it comes to like trying to figure out where this goes, I am not a person who would say that I would want to disqualify it due to its content, because I just don't enjoy watching it. But I don't necessarily know how to handle where I would put it next to a lot of things that I legitimately enjoy watching.
But you can agree it's above Cromartie.
I can agree it's above Cromartie.
Yeah. See, this is like the prime example of art doesn't need to make you feel comfortable, right?
Yeah. But it's just difficult for me to then like put it alongside things that we've legitimately enjoyed. And I'm like, I never want to watch this again.
I mean, you are still digesting it, to be fair.
We all are.
It's
only just finished.
Yeah.
Like historically with this podcast and our recordings, we have been the most positive about shows immediately following watching things for the first time.
I don't have this problem.
Yes, you do. You were so positive.
Fantasy,
you were so positive about Spirits Within right after we finished watching
that's the only one. That's the only one.
You know, it needs to happen once. How many episodes have we done so far, Miles?
Cleopatra.
And Cleopatra.
No, I stand by everything I say about Cleopatra. The thing is, I am very good at assessing where I'm going to feel long term about things for the most part.
Except that one time.
I'm sorry, I got jazzed by hanging out with my bros in Toronto. Excuse me for liking you guys.
Fair.
I think what I mean when I say that you're still digesting it is like, Tristan, Miles and I have had weeks, a month in some cases, to digest some of these episodes. And you did it all at once. So like, that's a lot. When I was doing the ones to watch, I watched the first episode 5 days, I think, after it came out. The second episode came out 2 days after that. And even though I was writing the entry for it already, because I knew it was going to be on my ones to watch list as soon as I saw the first 5 seconds of animation, really. But as I was writing it, I didn't want to watch the second episode because I didn't feel ready to process it yet. And I ended up taking an extra day to write that just because I was like, okay, I should go watch the second episode. But like, you just did that thing that like I didn't want to do, even though it would have helped me with my work 5 times over. So like, no wonder you're feeling bad right now.
Oh yeah.
And we told you not to.
I mean, even,
and again,
to be fair,
so instead of having 3 days to process, 5 days. Ooh,
I mean,
that would have helped so much.
I actually don't know how much it would have helped if it was just like 1 episode a day. It might have actually ruined Tristan's week worse. I don't know. But watching it 1 episode at a time lets you digest the meaning of it, right? Better. I think it lets you like really think on what each individual episode has to say, because all of them have like significant thematic points to make.
No, they
themselves.
do. The other thing too, and it's one of those things that like when it happened, I was like, I really wish I had more time for this. Is any time like I am a very big connoisseur, you might say, of time travel. I love it thematically. I can also hate sometimes when it's used poorly. It's used very well here for good effect. But anytime it shows up and you start talking about multiple timelines, you start talking about showing things out of order, you start hotkeying this crap all over the place, that's when I'm like, okay, I really wanted a little bit more time to piece things together, to like have a chronological order in my head at least, even if the show doesn't care about chronological order for various reasons. Not necessarily about Takopi. This is some other shit from other times. But like, I kind of wish I had that.
But that would require watching it again.
It would, which I'm not going to do.
Which maybe, here's the thing, Tristan. Right now, you're not going to do that.
Nah.
But that might change.
You might have said that about Grave of Fireflies. If we're doing a Grave of Fireflies episode, still not rewatching that film.
Really?
I mean, we will be doing an episode, but
we will.
No, we should.
And I recommend we should.
It. No, we should kill quest it.
Why?
Because it's not making the list.
Why is it not making the list? It's one of Takahata's best films.
Do you know what I said about the first episode of Takopi that had me worried?
What? Torture
Grave
porn?
of Fireflies is just torture porn, man.
Yeah, you're kind of right. A little bit. It's
extremely well done.
I wouldn't quite call it torture porn, but it is. Maybe it is. Maybe it is.
How much of the movie is just meant to make you feel like shit?
All of it. The whole thing.
Great.
If it doesn't directly make you feel like shit, it's designed to build you up a little bit better so that it can hit you harder.
And it doesn't complicate that emotion at all. And Takopi complicates that emotion of feeling like shit so well that I would say we should put it number 3 right after Pat Labor, before ReZero.
No.
Before ReZero.
No. Here's the other thing. Because historically with our list and talking about things that are new, I've seen how much we've cooled on things. I remember how hard Geoff was arguing for Project A-ko when we first watched it. I
still argue.
He still is.
Project.
He still is, but he's not arguing for it to be top 5 or anything. Like
Was
he
I?
probably would have at the time.
I don't. Think
You were
I ever
arguing
said
for it
top
You
pretty
said
five.
high.
top 10. You said top 10. You said top 10 overall when you watched it.
Yeah.
Did I? Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess
you hooted real high. And that's kind of the thing where it's just like, because this is so new, a part of me is like, should we even be talking about putting it that high? Because I don't know if it's going to land there. I don't want to put it that high. I don't want to put it anywhere near that high.
The thing is with Project A-ko and my feelings on that, that's a pure positive experience. That's just like me riding the hype. And I think when I watch Project A-ko again, I'll probably be like, yeah, this is top 10 for a couple days at least, because it's just so fun. Because I have such a positive emotional association with it. And Takopi does not have that problem, if you want to call it a problem. It has the opposite problem, where like it's making you miserable just thinking about it, right? And I think it doesn't lend itself to that level of emotional bias as much, and therefore it's easier for us to like evaluate it now, I think. Or for me at least, and I think for Miles too.
What I would say now is, while it is difficult for me to say, like, if we're going to pull up the graphic that we are now using and show people everything on the list, I'm probably not putting it up right now. But whenever that happens, if you look at the list, I don't necessarily know where I would put it there, but I can tell you that I am roughly feeling on the final list that I would be comfortable having Takopi anywhere between 25 to 50. But not much
pretty high.
No, pretty high, but not like, I don't know how I would want to put it in the top 25.
I could see it in like the 15 to 25 range.
So I just put it on my top 100 just while we were at the earlier part of this call, just so I could like be smart about it. I put this at number 14 for TV shows, which means it's like number 40 for me overall.
Okay.
And that's, like we still have to talk about Apocalypse Hotel later, right?
We still need to do that. We still need to return to certain things, like when Dungeon Meshi gets another season.
But like,
when you guys actually finish watching Chihaya Furu.
Yeah, I mean, I do have to finish Chihaya Furu. I would not rank
You have
this,
a deadline of when the next time we bring Sungwon on, but who knows when that's going to be.
I would not rank this above Chihaya Furu personally.
No.
I don't think I'd even think about it. And like,
what about Dungeon Meshi?
I think I would put it around there personally. And you guys know I like Dungeon Meshi more than you guys, right? But if I'm thinking like, what's my anime of the year right now, I'm leaning personally more Apocalypse Hotel than Takopi, even though I really like Takopi.
That's crazy that it's not Orb. Crazy.
That's
absolutely
crazy.
I like Orb too. I like Orb a lot.
My thing with Orb, which, I'm not going to mention that. My thing with Orb is that with any show that straddles the line between years, I always consider it the previous year's entry. So I always forget that it's in contention this year.
Me too.
So like when Frieren straddled the line, when it first came out, obviously anime of the year for me. And then last year, it's like, yeah, technically I could have said that my favorite anime of all time is still my anime of the year, but I wasn't going to cheap out like that. And so I made it Dungeon People.
No, Orb is just the best anime of both years.
Orb was just the best anime of last year, and Orb will continue to be the best anime of this year.
But
until morale improves.
Back to Takopi. I actually like, I don't know, I think I might like Takopi more than Orb.
I wouldn't put it in more than Orb. So here's where I'm thinking at the moment. So as I sit here, I think I would be okay with putting Takopi above Dungeon Meshi, but with the knowledge of how hype Geoff is making the rest of Dungeon Meshi, I don't think it'll stay above it.
Yeah,
like not having experienced what will come in Dungeon Meshi. Like that's kind of where I think I'd be comfortable putting it.
Yeah, to me, it's in the Dungeon Meshi ballpark, and it does depend on how well Dungeon Meshi, the anime, executes on the last half of Dungeon Meshi, the manga, right? Because
so I'm catching you at the Dungeon Meshi ballpark.
Yes.
Great anime. Can't ever recommend it to people. It sucks. And by it sucks, I mean the situation, not the show.
But yeah, like Takopi, Miles earlier said that he thinks it's basically a perfect 6 episodes, right?
How many times are we going to talk about a tight 6 episodes, a tight 12 episodes, a perfect 6, a perfect
story, a perfect story?
Miles did say that, and like, I'm mostly inclined to agree on that. I do think that how they reach the final solution feels a little bit contrived and a little bit like
it is worse than the manga,
ass pulley. But I also think the actual mechanics of getting out of the problem are the least important thing about the story. So
yeah,
which does help. Yeah.
I like.
How do we feel about between 7 and 8
for now?
Just after Princess Mononoke.
Just before Dungeon. How about why don't we put it
just above Dungeon Meshi for now?
And then when we revisit Dungeon Meshi, when the new seasons come out, we can reevaluate. And whatever else we end up talking about on the podcast between now and then.
I think that's a pretty reasonable place to put it.
Wow. This is pretty high up. This is our top 10 anime on our list right now.
Yeah.
And we all are at about the same place on it, I think, in terms of where we think it should land on the final list. So that's interesting.
Tristan's a little lower than both of us, but
not by much. Like Miles said 40, really. And I said the lowest
30 or 40.
30, the lowest I put it is 50. So I said between 25 and 50, somewhere in that range. So 40's fine.
Yeah.
But that's the final list, and we're a long way out from that.
But you should watch Takopi, even if you don't want to. As long as you're capable of doing so. It's really fucking good.
It will ruin your week in the best way possible.
Tristan is still mad at us.
In the most loving way possible. F you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Next time on Quest for the Best, Princess Jellyfish.